So in this video, I'm gonna break down the game Valorant from an MMO player's perspective. Is it fun? Does shit hit different? Is pointing and clicking hard? Let's find out.
I dropped the stay down. Ooh.
So let's hop right in, shall we? I log into the game without having to pay for a freaking subscription. The game's free to play, and unlike most MMOs when they're free, there isn't even a downside or disadvantage to playing the game without a subscription. Mind blown, bro. But then shortly after I noticed there's cosmetic items, like holy shit. All my MMO game heart has ever asked for. That's amazing, bro. That's amazing. I get to spend $90 on a skin pack. Man, boy oh boy, this almost feels like home. That's great. And check this out, they even accept credit cards and PayPal. Damn, what more could you ask for, right? Okay, cool, so we got that covered. Now let's talk about how the game works. What's really nice is there is no leveling up needed, no mindless grinding for hours and hours just to play your char at the full potential to then possibly find out it's trash or not OP enough or whatever that then makes you want to play another class. So you have to grind for another countless hours again. Also, there is not a single broken class, like nothing is OP. The ultimate hint, by the way, that this is not some Asian MMO. I mean, sure, there is some chars locked, but you can easily get them by playing the game with those you have unlocked already. You can also pay to get the locked chars right off the bat, but apart from that, the skins in the shop, there is no pay to win or anything. Another clear hint that tells us this is not an Asian game. Besides the game not being pay to win and not having any broken classes, another big difference is there is no open world or anything. From the lobby, you hit the play button, you're presented with some options like unrated, competitive, custom games, 2 other play modes no one ever really plays except for warm up maybe, and boom, you're good to go. One thing that will probably throw you off though as an MMO player, the game's heavily PvP focused. In fact, it's like the only content. There is no PvE, aka PK is always on, am I right? Which is, IMO, a good thing, just saying. So when you dare to hit that play button, you get randomly thrown into one of currently 5 maps or instances or dungeons or whatever terminology is familiar to MMO players. I mean, you could call it the 5 vs 5 battleground with currently 5 maps. First team to 13 rounds wins. The battleground is all about some interesting concept, I'll call it point and click. If you point at the right place and you click at the right time, it is often referred to as hitting your shots. If someone hits their shots on a regular basis and with great consistency, they are considered as being built different, which might refer to them being genetically OP or something, I can't really tell. In the battleground, mana is not a thing, probably fine though since you can't run out of mana, which is nice for all those losers not able to manage your mana correctly. Am I right, forehead? Another thing which clearly sets the game apart from MMOs is it's not possible to form raids and gank people. Once you hit that play button and the queue pops, maximum party size is 5 players. And guess what? You also face 5 players. So it's always a fair 5 vs 5. Of course, unless someone on either team rage quits the game, which appears to happen quite often in the lower ranks, sadly, but yeah, that's a whole other story. But therefore, there is a really awesome future, which is voice chat. Imagine you're actually able to scream, I mean talk to your teammates in game, so they can tell you how good you are and how good you're doing and all that juicy stuff. And you can do the same to them. Isn't that just great, yo? As it is a round-based, tactical 5 vs 5 point-and-click game, the gearing system might be quite odd for people coming from an MMO. There is only one part of gear you really need, which is a weapon, and you can buy it at the start of each round. No need to farm, no need to craft or whatever. There is some weird system in place where weapons aren't bind on pickup or bind on equip, it's rather something like bind on use. Once you used your gun, you cannot sell it again, which is fine though. Also, you can't sell enemy weapons. That's quite weird, but whatever. You don't need to upgrade them either, so there's also no chance for them to downgrade or break or whatever the f some evil devs of the MMOs might have done to artificially prolong the grind. Though, I'll have to admit, every time you die, you lose them. And especially if you're bad at the game, that happens quite often, so that might be annoying to you. The skill system is quite something as well. First, you have to buy skills every single time in order to use them, and you have to rebuy them after using them. Also, there's only like 3 skills and an ultimate in total for every char. What is that even? A mobile game, or what are we playing here? Anyways, something that probably is familiar to at least PvP-sided players of MMOs. The player base is incredibly toxic. But hey, at least they managed to shut down the Russians by making them not able to use voice chat due to some really amazing laws in their country. So Riot would have to actually record all of voice chat and store it just in order to obey their laws. So they rather said f it and decided to not let them talk at all. Which is fine, I mean, who needs voice chat in a strategical game anyways, am I right? So that was a brief breakdown of the game in the eyes of an MMO player. Stick around to hear about some pros and cons of the game and a final verdict. I also have an important tip for you at the end of the video. If you seriously consider to play this game, stay with me to check it out. First off, let's talk about some of the pros. The DPS is insanely high. If you hit someone in the head, it's most likely an insta-kill. Also, it's possible to teabag dead players, which is an important and truly amazing mechanic for every game that involves some form of PvP. It's only effective though if the player teabagged was the last one alive on the enemy team. Otherwise, you can of course teabag them, but they wouldn't see it, so yeah, the teabagging would be kinda pointless, you know. As there is no world chat or anything, and no tradable items either, there is also no want to sell, want to buy, want to trade message spam, which is a good thing I guess, since the constant spamming is quite annoying. So much to the pros. Let's talk about some of the downsides. The only way to min-max in this game is by skill, which probably would freak out the majority of MMO players when they're not able to get carried by unfair advantages due to gear, pay to win potions and stuff like that. That's a tough one, I know. Also, another big downside, as many dedicated fans of the MMO genre will hate, face rolling is actually not even effective at all, and will most likely result in your teammates calling you out for being a so-called bot, also known as NPC in the MMO world. Another thing is, there's no way to put an LFG. How are you gonna find people to play with without an LFG? I mean, yeah, you have to rely on third-party tools like Discord and stuff. This kind of blows. And also, there is not really any drops or loot or anything. In the so-called ranked playlist, the only loot, if you want to call it that way, you get is 1, 2 or 3 arrows up or down, or an equal sign, depending on how well you and your team performed. In the other playlist, you don't get any loot at all. What is that even, right? Another thing that sucks pretty hard, the instat on most players is like super low, or almost 0 even, from what it sounds like listening to them in voice chat. But yeah, I guess as an MMO player, you're kinda used to that, right? Yeah, so that was basically it. To end it all, I will say I really like the game. And for everyone that thinks that the point and click concept, aka FPS type of game, could be fun, I'll just say go and try it out. Game's really fun. And for my last piece of actual advice, if you're gonna try out the game, I wanna say play to get better, never play to rank up. I know this sounds like really trivial, but it's really important. Rank doesn't matter that much. Many players, especially in lower elo, have kind of a god complex or something, where they constantly blame teammates for losing, etc. That's just annoying. Don't be that guy. Don't be a little bitch. Keep calm, keep improving, and yeah, that's it. If you liked the video, please consider subscribing to my channel, as it would actually mean a lot to me. And I mean, you can always unsubscribe later if you want to. Alright, cool. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Peace, peace, peace.